We have a very special guest today who is Jason Long. He is our assistant teaching professor of information sciences and technology. Jason, welcome. Could you
Thank you.
introduce yourself just a little bit in the beginning?
Sure. Um, just like what JR said, I am an assistant teaching professor in information sciences technology. I'm also the program leader for the IST program at the DuBois campus. My background, I actually went to Penn State for all of my degrees. I actually went to the Hazleton campus first and then had to transfer to University Park because at that point, they didn't have any bachelor's degree at the campuses, which they do now. Once I got my degrees, I worked for an insurance company in Philadelphia as an IT manager, and then I switched over to a software company where I was a lead technical support person before I left and started working at the Penn State DuBois campus back in 2001.
Wonderful. Thanks for the introduction. So you are a Penn Stater, 100%.
As they say, when you cut me, I will bleed blue and white. So absolutely, absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful. I have a reason for inviting you here today because we just started our brand new program in information technology. I do know we used to offer a different major called information sciences and technology, but we're now transitioning into this new major as of spring 2022. And I thought it would be wonderful if you could just talk a little bit about this new major we're starting called information technology.
Absolutely. Since I started back in 2001, one of the biggest issues we had was explaining to people what is IST. And it's not computer science and it's not MIS. Computer science is under the College of Engineering and MIS is under the College of Business. Now, what IST is, and I don't joke about it, but I tell people, I go, just eliminate the S. It's an IT degree. Right. Now that we have this new IT degree, it's fantastic because people know what the degree is in. I mean, when you're talking about IT, you're talking about obviously computers and databases and the internet and all of the different areas in the field of in IT. Now, what's nice about this new IT degree is that it is offered only at the non-University Park campuses. So you can take this at any of the, now when I went through Penn State, they were called satellite campuses and they've changed names throughout the years, but it's all at the non-University Park campuses. Now, the reason for that is so that each campus can showcase what their specialties in. For example, at the DuBois campus, we are known for networking. We have 4 advanced networking courses where students can get an associate degree in IST and the option is in networking. And it's where a lot of my students in the past have gotten great success by taking those courses. So needless to say, this new IT degree is fantastic, and so in that they can showcase again what each campus specialty is in.
Which is wonderful. Yeah, you mentioned what this new IT major can offer more because of its flexibility. But when it comes to our own flavor at Penn State DuBois, could you elaborate a little bit more on these additional opportunities for the students? Because I know our focus is more on networking and hopefully also cybersecurity.
Now, one of the special things about the Penn State DuBois campus is that I made sure that it is a very hands-on environment. Now, in doing that, we have 4 computer labs that we use for the IST department. 2 of the computer labs are what is known as on-network, meaning that they are managed by the IT staff. The other 2 labs are off network, meaning that it doesn't communicate with the DuBois network. We do have internet access, but it is supported by the IST students, which is a great opportunity for the students to make sure that everything is up and running, make sure that they manage how the labs are working, and if anything breaks, they have to fix it. Now, along with the another nice thing about the DuBois campus is that I also am an advisor for the IT club, which is made up of not only IST students, but other students on campus. And we do run 2 very nice, call it, activities on campus. One is called the ITCH, which is the IT club help desk. This service is for students, faculty, and staffs, and supporting their personal equipment, so that if they have a problem or a virus, they can come in and my students are able to help support them. Now, what's nice about that is that my students can keep working with their skills on technical side, but also work with those communication skills to talk to clients in order to find out what the issue is.
Yeah, these are essentially volunteers, student volunteers.
Absolutely. It's not a paid position. It's all volunteer. Absolutely.
Who are trying to help, basically.
Absolutely. And then our biggest event is called Video Game Day. We've been doing this event for many, many, many years. And it's on a Saturday night from 4 p.m. until 11 p.m. 7 hours of gaming. We basically set up one of our buildings on campus as a giant arcade where we have multiple tournaments. We have computer labs that are playing PC games, 3 rooms with consoles in it, and we average about over 200 people that come to it. And what's nice about it is that, again, I use this as a project for my students so that they can plan for the event. They have to set it up and they have to manage it real time. So if something would go down, they would have to go and fix what went down so that our participants can keep on gaming.
Wonderful. So just to follow up on our conversation about the new information technology degree, could you go over, these classes unique to the new IT program students will have to take to finish their degree program?
Absolutely. First year is set up the same for anyone in the IT program, where you have an introduction to cybersecurity. You have 2 courses in programming. In the fall semester, you have an introduction to a Java course. And in the spring, you have a secondary Java course, it's a continuation of the first one. You also have an introduction to database design and an introduction to networking. After that, if you go for the networking option, not only for the IST associate degree, but also the network or the IT bachelor's degree, your second year is pretty technical in the sense that you have a course in hardware where we go over workstations, servers, routers, and switches, all the different versions of operating systems from Windows to Linux to OS X, and a lot of virtualization with Hyper-V, VMware, VirtualBox. You also do a system analysis and design. It's where it's a IT project management course. And you also do a web-based programming course where you go over like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all those fun programming classes that they use for the web.
Yeah.
Now, once the second year is done, most students, again, graduate with an associate degree so they can re-enroll into the IT program. Now, you don't have to do this. You can just take the networking courses and continue on. Now, what I had students do in the past is that once they have taken these courses, they can go for different certifications. Now, I want to warn you that you would have to do some additional studying, but it definitely, after taking these networking courses, you can find out which certification you might want to go to, like the Comp A+ or the CompTIA Network Plus, Cisco CCNA, or different Microsoft certifications. Now, the third year, that's after your second year, your third year is when you actually enroll into the IT degree. You have an IT project management course. You have multiple courses in information security, some design and development courses. Then in your fourth year, then you have an advanced database course, a computer and cyber forensic class, and you have a capstone course where you work with a client to develop an IT solution for that client. Now, those are all the courses, but all the IST majors are required to have an internship, which in my opinion is definitely needed, because it gives students that experience to go out and find a position when they go out into industry. For the bachelor's degree, you need 300 hours. For the associate degree, you need 150 hours. Now, with that being said, if I have a student who is in the associate program but is very interested in the bachelor's degree, I tell them do the 300 hours because it will count for both degrees. So that's basically the requirements for the degrees.
That's great. So students really have full exposure to, what could be coming at them once they finish our program and start working in industry, and we're really trying to have them ready for whatever is coming up.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I know one of the things our prospective students could be very interested in is the salary potential. And I do know, as an IT person myself, I would say varies quite a bit depending on where you are, depending on what type of job you have. But could you touch on the salary ranges a little bit once our students finish their degree in information technology?
Absolutely. Now, a lot of these values I got from ZipRecruiter, which you can go online and take and research on your for yourself. But what I found out is that the entry-level position in IT, the national average is around $41,000. In the state college area, it's around $36,000, and in DuBois, it's actually $35,000 or $35,000, which is not too far off from the national average.
Which is exciting.
Absolutely.
Depending on where you are, the salary could be way up there too. And a lot of you out there listening could do some more research, as Jason just mentioned. We also have very successful alums who finished our program, not exactly information technology, but the previous version of our IT program called Information Sciences and Technology. Jason, could you talk a little bit about what they're doing out there in the trenches and how successful our graduates are?
Absolutely. Now, the alums that I'm talking about, they actually all went through all of the networking courses that that I've taught in the past. And for the 20 plus years I've been teaching, I have students all over the country. I have 3 students that are working for Google, one as a senior security engineer, another one as a technical operations specialist and operations manager. I have 2 students that work at Amazon, a software engineer at Lockheed Martin, couple students working for Verizon and Highmark. I have a research engineer at Cisco, cyber risk consultant at Deloitte, multiple students that work at different banks like PNC and Fulton and CNB. A lot of students who work locally at Penn Highlands. I know for a fact that I have some students that have pretty high positions at different school districts in the area.
Wonderful.
And a lot of government jobs that all my past students can say is that I have a government job. So which is quite interesting and exciting to talk about.
Right. I remember, working with people doing background checks a lot. Who are these government, I would say, people, representatives? But you know what? They always show up in, for some reason, trench coats. Why?
That is true. That is very, very true.
But anyway, our last portion of the episode today is Jason giving us some tips for those who aspire to be IT information technology professionals out there. I'm really looking forward to this part of our conversation. Jason, any tips for these students who want to be IT professionals?
Absolutely. Keep learning. Treat this degree or any degree you go for as a career, not just getting a job. For example, what got me into computers was I love video games. When I was little, I used to go to the arcade and did the quarters and, used to play multiple video games. Was I good at video games? No. Am I still good at video games? No, but I still play them. But I always was interested on how they interact with one another. So therefore, it got me to computers. When I went to Penn State, I actually was in accounting. I was really good at accounting, and it's a fantastic field, but it just wasn't for me. So I wanted to. I was always interested in computers. So therefore, at that point, IST was not around. I didn't go the computer science route because there were requirements for computer science that really didn't interest me. And so therefore I went into management information system and business, where I had to take a lot of business courses, which we do have a lot of business courses that you need to take for the new IT degree, and which definitely helped me in industry. So all I can tell you is that when you go into, if you're interested in IT, make sure you keep learning and keep up on the technology.
Which is what we are trying to do at Penn State DuBois, because we want to teach students how to learn instead of, just like the old saying goes, giving a fish, right? So we teach our students how to fish instead of giving a fish. That's the idea. And
absolutely,
we want them to be a self-directed learner as they go through, many of these challenges in their career development. But Jason, thank you again for spending some time with us today. And I'm looking forward to working with you to bring more students to our campus and help them succeed in their career pursuits in the future.
Absolutely. And thanks so much for inviting me.
Great.